Once upon a time, in a village nestled between enchanted hills, there lived a kind-hearted girl named Lila. She had bright, curious eyes and a heart that shimmered like morning dew. Though her family was poor, Lila always found ways to share what little they had with others, never expecting anything in return. Lila lived in a small cozy cottage at the edge of the village. The walls were made of worn stones and the roof was thatched with golden straw. Inside, a small fireplace crackled in the evenings, filling the single-room home with warmth. She had a wooden bed covered in hand-stitched quilts, and on the shelves above it sat small trinkets from the forest, pine cones, feathers, and smooth river stones she had collected over the years. Her days were spent gathering firewood from the nearby woods, tending to a tiny vegetable garden, and sewing patches onto her worn dresses. She had no parents or siblings, for they had passed when she was very young, leaving her to fend for herself. But despite the loneliness, Lila found joy in the simplest of things: feeding the birds, watching the seasons change, and offering a helping hand to those in need. One icy winter's evening, as the wind howled through the village like a lonely wolf, a faint knock echoed at Lila's door. When she opened it, a frail old woman stood before her, wrapped in tattered shawls, her hands trembling from the cold. "Dear child," the woman whispered, her voice as soft as snow, "I have traveled far and am weary. May I rest by your fire?" Without hesitation, Lila welcomed the woman inside, wrapping her in a warm blanket and offering her the last bowl of hot soup from their tiny pot. The woman's eyes twinkled as she sipped the broth. "Kindness, my dear, is magic stronger than any spell," she murmured. As dawn painted the sky with golden hues, the old woman stood to leave. But before she stepped outside, she transformed into a radiant fairy, her wings shimmering with stardust. "You have a heart as pure as the moonlight," the fairy said, reaching into her robe. She placed a tiny lantern in Lila's hands. "This lantern will shine only for those whose hearts are full of kindness." But not everyone in the village believed in kindness. Lord Grimshaw, the greediest man in town, heard of the magical lantern and grew envious. "A lantern that glows like gold must be made of treasure," he sneered. Determined to claim it, he stomped to Lila's cottage and demanded she hand it over. Lila, though small, stood her ground. "This lantern is not mine alone," she said bravely. "It shines only for kindness, not greed." Lord Grimshaw scoffed and snatched the lantern from her hands, but to his surprise, its light flickered and dimmed to nothing. No matter how hard he shook it, the lantern refused to glow. Enraged, he hurled it to the ground and stormed away. But just as Lila picked up the lantern again, something unexpected happened. A soft voice whispered through the air, "The lantern has chosen a new path." The golden light swirled and transformed into a shimmering doorway in the middle of her cottage. Without hesitation, Lila stepped through and found herself in a hidden realm, where kindness was the most powerful magic of all. Floating islands of glowing flowers, rivers of starlight, and towering trees humming with enchantment surrounded her. At the heart of this land stood the fairy queen herself, radiating warmth and wisdom. "Lila," she said, "your kindness has opened a passage to our world. The lantern is not just a gift, it is a key. Now, you must decide. Return to your village or stay and become a guardian of kindness in this enchanted realm." Lila's heart swelled with wonder. She loved her village, but she also knew the power of kindness could spread even further. Smiling, she made her choice. And so, whether in the village or the enchanted realm, Lila's light never faded, proving that kindness, like fairy magic, could open doors to extraordinary places. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe our channel.